Geshe Gelek has arrived. So let's begin by reciting Shakyamuni Buddha's mantra 3 times, and it's on page 34 of the Gold Prayer Book. Eyata mune mune mahamunaye soha Eyata mune mune Mahamunaye soha Teata mune mune Mahamunaye soha. And now the verse of praise and mantra for Medicine Buddha on the same page. Bhagawan with equal compassion for all, whose name when merely heard dispels the suffering of the lower realm, dispel of disease and the 3 poisons, I prostrate to Medicine Buddha, lapis light. Teata om bekanze bekanze maha bekanze bekanze raja samugate soha Teata om bekanze bekanze maha bekanze bekanze raja samugate soha Teata om bekanze bekanze maha bekanze bekanze Raja samugate soha Teata om bekanze bekanze maha bekanze bekanze Raja samugate soha Teata om bekanze bekanze maha bekanze bekanze Raja samugate soha Teata om bekanze bekanze maha bekanze bekanze Raja samugate soha Teata om bekanze bekanze maha bekanze bekanze Raja samugate soha. Now the 4 mesh bowls on the same page 3 times. Let's see. May all sentient beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. May all sentient beings be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May all sentient beings be inseparable from the happiness that is free from suffering. May all sentient beings abide in equanimity, free from attachment for friends or hatred for enemies. May all sentient beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. May all sentient beings be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May all sentient beings be inseparable from the happiness that is free from suffering. May all sentient beings abide in equanimity, free from attachment for friends or hatred for enemies. May all sentient beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. May all sentient beings be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May all sentient beings be inseparable from the happiness that is free from suffering. May all sentient beings abide in equanimity, free from attachment for friends or hatred for enemies. Now the verse of praise and mantra for Chenrezig is on page 37 in the Gold Prayer Book. Not veiled by any fault, white in color, whose head a perfect Buddha crowns in light, gazing compassionately at all beings. To you, Chenrezig, all sing one, I prostrate. Om Mani Padme Hum. 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 Now the verse of praise and mantra for Green Tara. Tare liberates from cyclic existence. Tutare liberates from all fears. Ture liberates from all sickness. I prostrate to the liberator, Mother Tara. Om Tare Tu Re Soha. 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 Now Geshe-la will lead us in the Refuge and Bodhicitta prayer, which is on page 34 in the Gold Prayer Book.
So here, like reciting Refuge and Bodhicitta prayer, of course, is a part of the traditions, but the reason behind that is to set up positive intentions, positive motivations. I think we do need motivations to do things successfully. The best form of motivation is to altruistic intentions, wish to benefit other. So that's the best form of motivations. In Buddhism, it's called bodhicitta. Bodhi, there's like enlightenment. Chitta is the mind that wish for enlightenment. For yourself, sake of well-being of all other beings. So this is, I think, self-centric attitude or intentions cause us so much problems. So when we analyze in our life all the complication problem that we went through, in the past, still probably going through, maybe will go through in the future if we don't change our attitude. Self-centric attitude makes you uptight, so tight with yourself. So then, that makes you very vulnerable. Does not bring much happiness. So now thinking about the well-being of other living beings brings you maximum benefit. Maximum benefit. When we think very carefully, every pleasure or joy that we enjoy in this life is due to the participation of other beings. Without participation from other living beings, there will be zero happiness. There will be no happiness. First, there will be no clothes, there will be no food, there will be no road to drive, there will be no clean air, clean water. We don't think. We are so used to that. We don't think that's every day. That's like you could gain so much joy in your heart just simply by thinking something positive. And not just that, and wishing something positive for others. That's the way to bring maximum benefit for your life. Then you become less tight and you become more flexible, you become more open, and you become less judgmental. Then finally you realize wherever you look, how we look differently, we dress different, we probably speak different language, probably we eat different types of food, we have probably different culture, different traditions, probably different belief. The bottom line, each and every one of us, no matter how we look, how well we educated, and we are all looking for, we are all, nothing excluded, we are all looking for happiness. That's the fact. It's nothing to do with religion, that's the fact. You can go around, ask people, do you want happiness? Everybody probably will say yes, but nobody will say no. That's the fact. So now based on that reality, how you should think and how you should approach. Will you get maximum benefit if you approach to someone with loving kindness, compassion, or like prejudice or judgmental thought? You don't like to be judged, and some other people don't like to be judged. So therefore, having this power of intentions, altruistic attitude, is the way to bring maximum benefit in your life. Whether you're a believer, not believer, doesn't matter. We are all, at the end, we are all human. We feel, we talk, we think. We get hurt, we become happy. So now based on that reality, what kind of approach that I should implement in my day-to-day life? Should I approach with kindness, compassion? Probably you get benefit. You get benefit. And also like when you see someone's hurt, the first thing we don't ask them, are you Buddhist? We don't ask. We ask, are you okay? That shows human nature, we want to help. That human nature needs to be nurtured, and embrace, nurture. That's the best thing to do. That's the best. Then even though you don't believe in anything, doesn't matter. So you are getting the best out of yourself, and other around you, they are feel safe, they feel comfortable, they don't feel insecure, they don't feel threat. So you don't believe hurting people, you don't believe, always wish something good for them. That's what you believe. That's why you're trying to practice. That's the meaningful, that's considered as a good life, meaningful life, like happy life, because deep down you always have some kind of peaceful mind that's generated by your thought, your noble thought that you're trying to develop through meditations and like contemplating on the power of altruistic attitude. Then, eventually the amount of joy that you get from this altruistic attitude is like unlimited. So that's why this refuge and bodhicitta prayer is part of the traditions, you say before you start the class, but the reason behind that is trying to set up this noble thought, positive intentions, okay? So even though even though you are not familiar with the prayer, you can just meditate. While you say the prayer, you can just meditate. So then try to develop the positive thoughts, okay? Positive thought. Sake of your own happiness, not sake of Buddhism, not sake of religions, sake of your own benefits. So then your benefit will reflect to the others that they're around you, so they get, also benefit too. That's the way to produce harmonious family, harmonious communities, harmonious world, eventually universe. Can you imagine if everybody practiced loving kindness? Can you imagine why would there be problem? There'll be no problem. If everybody embrace loving kindness, compassion, simply based on the fact they are looking for happiness, that's all. Not because they are my tribe, or they are my team, or we believe in the same political view, nothing to do with that. Simply they are looking for happiness, that's all. Like exactly the way you are looking every single second. Based on that, there's no differences. Everything is same. When it's come down on that fact, everything's doing the same thing. The bird, the squirrel, doing the same thing. Minute they wake up, they're doing the same thing. So I just want to explain whether you can follow the prayer or not. The point is to develop positive attitude. Okay. Sanje chodan soje chonam la chanjo pardon dane janzo dage cheshe jibe sunam je dola peje sanje no show. The very last line says the benefit all sentient beings. Doesn't say benefit only American, only Tibetan. Didn't say. It says benefit all. That's like incredible thought. That is noble thought. You just want to benefit all, so that's good, so that you will get maximum benefit. So now the class gathering here, you just want to dedicate. If there's any positive energy has been created, gathering here, talking, discussing, I want to dedicate that to the well-being of every living being, regardless, Christian, Buddhist, doesn't matter, dedicated. So you are not focusing on the secondary level differences. You are focusing on the fundamental level. Sanje chodan soje chonam la chanju pardon dane dage chushenje be sunam je andola penje sanje. Sanje chodan soje chonam la chanju pardon dane jabzonje dage chushenje be dola penje sanje andola sho. 가달라 메메나미 아지 오모다 자질라서 추리줄라 자와저만 산제 송라 럽도 시진 대변주주 버디다 시죠 담배 시진 되시 나말라에게 달로다 내정게 되보다는 내게 너는 도 군전도 난지도 뭐 담배 폐도 다 최대도 관계 두세 년선에 따와던 방법에서 담배 주는 데서 뭐 보던 때로 쳐. Oh yeah, so now that's done. So positive setting of positive intentions. So now, any questions? Yeah, probably there are always questions.
Always questions.
Yeah.
There's a couple. The first one, if you're ready, Geshe-la, is it possible to be less emotional?
Huh?
For me, emotions seem to arise very quickly. They seem to be based on instinct instead of reason or logic. I read that secondary afflictions like jealousy, excitement, or agitation arise spontaneously with perception based on karma. Does that mean it will take a long time to influence my emotions? What can I do in this lifetime to be less reactive?
The first part, I didn't. The
First part was,
very-
is it possible to be less emotional?
Okay, it's possible. Listen. I think yes. What do you say? I think it's yes. Takes time. No, you can't say, oh, everything changed. No, you can't say nothing changed. That's against the reality. Things change. Yeah. So then, like, that's I think answer first. First is I answer yes, but like, see now think about. So this answer is, I say, coming from the teachings, not from me. It's coming from the teachings. In the teaching, what is said, right now, the situation, I'm not talking about your situation, I'm talking about my own situation. My case, I have body and I have mind. I'm not sure in the West, when I say mind, I'm not sure what kind of information you are getting. Or you can, other way, you could say, I have physical body that doesn't talk. And I talk based on five senses. And I think. My eye doesn't think, my ear don't think, but I think. So that means my nose smells, my ear hears sound, my eye see color shape, my tongue tastes things, doesn't talk. So there's five senses. Me, and body. There's five. Now there's five. My body doesn't talk. But my body doesn't think. That's very clear. It's clear now. That's very clear. So now something is talking. That's me. You could say a combination of physical body or brain. You could say brain. But anyway, you define based on these physical structures. And then, of course, five senses. But these are not you. This cannot be you. Five senses cannot be you. Body cannot be you. And that still we call I, self. That's more complicated. So now that I, oh, I'm happy, I'm not happy. Oh, I was so like disturbed by that I. At the moment, in my situation, is completely ruled by, controlled by my thought. Is that true? No need to go to psychic. I can just ask myself. Oh, so I'm trying daily basis, trying to gain control over my thought. But it's not easy, but it can be, it is possible, but it's not that easy. So trying to gain control over my thought. That's why trying to be mindful. So now, there's three draw. Speech, we talk, body, Buddhism is called three draw, body, speech, mind. The three draw. Mind, they think. So, then on top of that, we grab we grab so tightly on the self. We grab, probably all do, so tightly. If you take a moment, sit back, breathe, relax, and ask yourself questions, how you define self, how you define self. Just think about that. Is it necessary? I think it's very necessary because you have to understand the identity that you're holding so tight. It's not your ID. That's what you show. If somebody asks you to identify, you show ID. That can be burned. You are still around. That's not you. Just in the Western, in my hometown, nobody has ID. In here, when you come to West, you have ID, passwords, all kinds of things to show. There, they have nothing. So there's nobody show nothing. Nobody asks nothing. So then, it's very important to ask how you define yourself. Do you have any idea the things that you're holding so tightly? Have any ideas? Yeah, you should have some ideas because you're holding so tight on that, so that kind of unfortunately generated all this unnecessary stress. So that's why we should get to the bottom of it. We should get to the bottom of that. So that, according to Buddhism, that is the source of all the complications that we go through. All the complications. So now then, it becomes almost like habit. You think like, oh, there's nothing can be changed. It's like, that's just me. There's nothing can be changed. That's ignorance. That's not true. There's no wisdom. Anything can change. Even in the Buddha's lifetime, someone who killed 999 human beings, managed to clean his conscience. Why you think that you have why we think that we cannot do? Yeah, we have ability to liberate ourselves. So require mindfulness and a lot of contemplations, a lot of analysis is needed. In some cases, total analysis is needed. Otherwise, not reacting to the situations is hard. Does that mean impossible? No, it's not impossible. It is very possible, but it takes effort. It takes effort. So here in America, you are saying that no pain, no gain. It's not really pain, but it's effort. Effort is needed. Without effort, nothing can be changed. So just having a wish to eat chocolate chip cookie from the Whole Food, the fresh one, that's not good enough. So probably you need to go or get, or you may get or you may not get. If you're a little late, probably it's gone. Or so everything requires effort. Everything, even just everything. Without effort, there's no result. There'll be no gain. No gain. Some effort is needed. So a lot of analysis, thorough analysis, contemplation, is mindfulness. These are all needed. Why? Because you want to change. That is very possible. This is very possible. If someone who killed 999 humans can change, why you think you cannot change? You can change, certainly change. So then maybe over time, not like overnight, over time, you may not react right away. So now you are taking a time, you learn how to take a time, and because you're analyzing. Whenever there's situations rise, you're analyzing. And you eventually you realize you have moral responsibility to protect your peace of mind. That's your moral responsibility. You eventually realize that. That's the most important things. That's the most important things. Don't you think? That's why we go to work. We do things, we buy house. We are hoping something good, goodness. Your goodness is the most important to protect. That's your moral responsibility. So there you are very much aware of that. Whenever situations rise, moment you rely on disturbing thought, there's a great risk for your goodness. There's a great risk for your goodness. So now, based on that, then you precisely calculate how to approach. No? Disturbing thought, that's what it's called, disturbing thought. It disturbs you. It doesn't make you happy. That's why it's called disturbing thought. It disturbs you. When you go to some hotel room, they give you some like door, hang on, some sign that you can hang on outside, don't disturb. We need here. When people come, they see, they know that you don't want to be disturbed. That's exactly loving kindness, compassion is the sign of that. That's the loving kindness, compassion. Bodhicitta is that sign, don't disturb, the sign that you're wearing. Then you are not going to be disturbed. Understanding, regardless, as I said, American, Tibetan, monks, lay people, Christian, Buddhist, doesn't matter. You understood every one of them looking for every single second happiness. Oh, that's your foundations. That's called wisdom. That's not ignorance, that's pure wisdom. You are very aware of that. No matter what kind of circumstance, you are trying all your best not to disturb, at least. Plus, you're trying to contribute. When you contribute what they're looking for, you gain. When you disturb, when they're looking what they're looking for, you lose. You don't want to be around someone who's unhappy, screaming. Yeah, because you contributed to that. Are you happy now that somebody's going out of mind? Are you happy? No, nobody will be happy, nobody. Even the animal, your dog will run away if you scream. Even those human, your dog doesn't want to be close. Sense that you are angry, dog also goes. It takes time, it takes time. Then eventually, that's the way to go. I think eventually, daily basis, you have been thinking and thinking. That's called meditation. The moment you think, you are meditating. You don't need to sit like this, The moment you start to think, then you are meditating. You are assessing. Assessing. Not obsessing, assessing. Assess. Assessing. Heather said, assessing. Yeah, we have to assess situation very carefully. You can't just bust. You can't just explode. You are the one you are the one is exploding, so then you are done. So that's we assess the situation very carefully. Arguments, and all kinds of things. Everything can be prevented, but we are not being mindful, then we regret. And then I know we recite the mantra, would have, should have, could have. Would have, should have, could have. Maybe a little bit too late. Would have, should have, could have. Much better if you be mindful. Much better if you be mindful. You have power to control your emotion. You can control. You don't have to express. Experiencing doesn't mean you have to express. Yeah, you will experience because you are not liberated from anger. You will experience anger. Does not mean you have to express. Once you express, then whole situation turns into unpleasant. You don't want to, you see at the airport, you see everywhere, you see in the shopping stores, like everywhere you see, you see people losing patience. Do they look beautiful? No. When they get angry, do they lose attraction? No. People just try to slowly move away because you are like, yeah, it's like amount of negative energy they throw out from that anger. Nobody really likes. So like that, that's unfortunate. So then slowly being mindful, all of that, analyzing, thorough analysis, then understanding that you have moral responsibility to protect your goodness, and understanding that not just you, if you think, oh, I'm the only one who's seeking happiness, nobody else, that's ignorance. There's no wisdom. Oh. So then this attitude, my way, highway, that attitude needs to be changed, honestly speaking, because our life driven by that attitude, my case, more than now 50 years or close to 60 years. Do I gain anything? Really nothing. So now it's time to change the attitude. So then I think I'm not reacting the situation right away could change, slowly change. Even though the emotion that you may feel like emotions kind of spontaneous, I think that very much needed mindfulness. Otherwise, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry. It's a very good question, but yeah, mindfulness is very much needed. Mindfulness is very much needed. With the knowledge, moral responsibility, protecting your goodness, knowing that and knowing other people seeking happiness every single second, cannot deny that. That's the fact. Having that wisdom, then slowly, things will change. Things will change. But mindfulness is very much needed. Don't practice the sake of Buddhism. Practice the sake of your goodness. That's all. We have every right, and that is our moral responsibility to protect and our goodness and increase our goodness. Without destroying your peace of mind, without destroying other people's peace of mind, it can be done. It can be done. Even though that's not what you're taught. The school always taught to compete, challenge, or next door business going out of business, or enjoy, rejoice, nothing to worry. That kind of attitude doesn't bring happiness. So that's why His Holiness Dalai Lama said in the school, people probably should start to teach moralities, ethics, loving kindness, compassion. Then the kids are the future of the universe. If they grow healthy body, healthy mind, if they see the importance of loving kindness, compassion, and they talk about world peace. First, you have to have peace with yourself. So then I think that's why His Holiness, saying it's important to teach, not just how to make money, also teach how to be happier person. So yeah, that's very much needed. So if your neighbor is so friendly, talking so friendly, kind of hello, it makes you happy. You don't know they're Christian or Buddhist, atheists, you don't know. Because you are happy, they're kind people. That's all matters. It makes you, if somebody says, oh, good morning, we don't say, oh, bad morning, we don't say. Because human nature doesn't want to be negative. Somebody say good morning, we say good morning. So that we respond to positive things, we respond positively, negatively, then we respond negatively, not knowing that nobody's winning. That's unfortunate. So kind-hearted human is very much needed within the family, within the community, within the society, within the countries, within the whole world, very much needed. Less people will suffer. Less people suffer because that person is thinking about well-being of others. So that's why the whole community get benefited. Okay. So then slowly over time change, but spontaneous reactions sounds more like habit. So when it becomes habit, then it's harder to break. So that's why it requires a lot of mindfulness. Then slow you learn. You take your time. Slow you take your time, and you are thinking and experiencing, but decide not to express, and learn how to digest. Like that. Oh, Alexander, thank you very much for translating. People in Patagonia. Oh, yeah.
Are you ready for the next question?
Anybody want to contribute something? Anybody want to say, contribute? So like sounds more like habit, sounds more like habit. Yeah, anybody will speak, so then give me some break.
This is just a comment. I was laughing to myself, Geshe, about when I said obsess and the person said assess, to think about it, to analyze. And I was thinking, I'm often confused between what is assessing and obsessing, which means being on the rabbit wheel of my thoughts, And so it was very helpful to laugh at myself. And I don't know if anybody else has had that experience, but maybe.
Yeah. My pronunciation contributed to that. My pronunciations.
Yeah, I came to the Kadampa Center, I came to Buddhism because of my emotions. I had like this very, very volatile, very explosive anger. People wouldn't know it unless I exploded on you, right? I was on the verge of losing everything that was precious to me. I was on the verge of losing my wife. I was on the verge of losing the trust and love of my children. Even my dog didn't want to be around me because of my anger. I came to Buddhism because I really needed to get control of that. And so I always tell the guys that I work with in prison that for two years straight, that was my practice, to control my anger, to get rid of it, to diminish it. In fact, the Dalai Lama told us, and the Buddha said that anger is not who we are. That anger is what we have, and therefore we can actually eliminate anger. I thought, well, I'm going to test them out on this. I'm going to see if that's true, the scientific method, right? And so I practice and I practice and I practice. And over time, my anger began to lessen. I became aware of when I was getting angry. I began to, as soon as I had the thought of me, why are you doing this to me? I would face that and avert it, right? As Shantideva says. I did this constantly. I wasn't really sure if it was working, but my wife told me, that it was working. I was doing the discovering Buddhism class, and the 2-year course, right? And I was doing that. And if looked like I wasn't going to come to the Kadampa Center on Monday, she said, "Aren't you supposed to be at the Kadampa Center?" My wife doesn't come here, right? But she knows that this is beneficial. That this not only helps me, but it's helping the family. So I am really hoping, I really believe that yes, we can, and I know from some experience now that we can begin to get control of our emotions. I also know that we have to do it.
Yeah, no choice. Yeah.
Yes, no choice. Yeah, we will never achieve our goal of being happy and not suffer if we don't.
Very good, wonderful. Yeah. So now that's very important. Like, so, you may not able to control right away, but the first initial, you'll be aware. You'll be aware, you'll become aware of the situations. Before you just explode. Now you're being aware situation, you are still assessing. React, not react. And there's all kinds of thoughts like going on to protect yourself, all kinds of thought, So then that's very good. That's you be aware, okay? That's very good. Well said, yeah.
I just wanted to add one thing. And Andre, you mentioned it with your wife. One of the things that's helped me with this practice is letting others know. Because when I have those mindless moments and the emotions rise and they come out of that mouth of mine, it really helps when someone who I trust and I know who also understands the journey that I'm on, that they can kind of help me like pause when I have those moments that I don't pause and check in and go, wait a minute, I just reacted rather than responded. And so I felt like letting the loved ones in my life or the people that I know that can help me get better. And so then if they observe that reactionary moment, they could go, oh, wait, pause, breathe, check in. Okay. So I like that you kind of share with your family because it helps, right? They kind of encourage us to keep going. So
yeah, that's very good. Pause, breathe, check in. That's very well said. That's very good. So that should be the mantra. That should be a very, 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 very meaningful mantra. Pause, breathe. Pause, breathe, check in. Yeah. So that's like a practical mantra.
Joshua, we do have a question from JL on Zoom. So JL, you can go ahead and ask your question.
Thank you. Tashira, I just wanted to add something that has helped me, and it's like after to deal with emotions. At the moment, it helps a lot to stop and breathe, like that you said. But if the emotions don't arise like as fast as we think. So if after the fact, we kind of remember what makes you, for example, angry, right? And we remember what happened. And we kind of meditate on that and analyze how the anger arised. And the more we analyze it, the more we see it's not something that just happens, but it begins to arise. And we recognize how it feels in our bodies, how it gets to our brain. So we kind of deconstruct it, and that way we can recognize when we are just beginning to get angry and kind of nip it on the butt. And maybe at the beginning, we just stop it externally, like we don't just react. But later on, we kind of allow it also internally to kind of settle down faster, because we already know how it begins, how it arises. And I'm not sure if this makes sense, but that's my experience, and that's what has helped me sometimes. So just wanted to add my 2 cents. Thank you.
Is there true sense?
Yes, at my
Where's the true sense?
oh that
Just joking. Why you're not up here?
because I'm not on camera, Geshe like just
Okay.
just
Okay, thank you. Well said,
Okay.
well said, well
Okay.
said, well said. Oh, yeah.
Thank you, Geshe like.
Yeah. So anybody from online, you can ask question too. If you, or you can say something if you want to say. And looks like the question is about like spontaneous emotions and how to stop that. Okay. Yeah, if you want to say something, just jump in. So otherwise we'll continue. If you want to say something, so you can just say probably like Linda will see. Okay, yeah. Yeah, Linda. Next one. So we have a few minutes. Yeah.
Okay, our next question is, does Geshe-la have commentary on his experience with balancing study and contemplation?
0. Make it very clear at the very beginning.
And how a person from the East Coast United States should keep this in mind as they practice. In Liberation of the Palm of Your Hand, the chapter on developing the attitude that diligent practice will cure the illness, it says, excuse me, study anything you are going to practice and relate whatever you study to your own mind stream. Drumtampa, the king of Dharma, said the following on the need to combine study, contemplation, and meditation. When I study, I increase my contemplation and meditation. When I contemplate, I increase my study and meditation. When I meditate, I increase my study and contemplation.
Sounds very good.
Yes.
Yeah, well said, well said. Sounds good.
Mhm.
Sounds more like statement.
Well, the student is asking experience with balancing study and contemplation, especially from a person from the United States or for a person from the United States, balancing the study and contemplation.
Yeah, I don't understand the question. You understand? You understand the question? Do you understand the question?
Do I understand the
Yeah.
question? Well, I think
Can you-
sometimes
can-
it can
can-
be challenging for Westerners to find a balance.
What kind of
between
balance?
The study,
Oh,
like, and maybe that's like the physical of coming to class or,
oh,
that sort of thing. I guess, I don't know who asked this
Oh.
question. And then contemplation. Does
no,
anyone else want to try?
No,
Ramala,
should go
Kandala?
together. Should go together. Should go together. Study, contemplation should go together. Can't be separate. It's all for your goodness. Therefore, it should go together. Contemplation, study should go together. Contemplation is like what you study, then you contemplate on that. Otherwise, there's nothing to contemplate. I think must go together. So, but like as I said, we do mumble the word. Does that sound familiar? Yeah, so we say like, you even say, oh, it kind of hits me. Probably the same word before you're not much thought put in there. All of a sudden, kind of like, it's not the same word. It's not a different word, the same word. And that moment you are contemplating. That's why, kind of like, I think should go together, So like, when you talk about balance, Gishikele has 0 balance. By the way, tell person.
Say that one more time, Geshe-la.
I have no balance here.
No balance.
Not
Okay.
qualified to talk about balance. Now,
That's all.
oh, very good. So now, yeah, contemplations they're called meditations. What's other called reflections?
Contemplate,
Study,
study, meditate.
study, contemplation, meditations. Then because of I'm used to say these three different words. I don't remember now.
Do you want me to repeat it?
No, they're like reflection, the study, the reflection, then integrations. Same like meditation, integration, like, integration into their life. So that's well said. So that's all. So we'll end the class here today. So again, Alexander, thank you very much for translating, and all the people on Zoom and YouTube. Thank you very much. And I'm looking at here, but I'm supposed to look there. I cannot see any of you. I see you here. I don't see you here, but I'm looking at you. Probably you are wondering, I'm looking at, you are wondering, I'm not looking at you. Actually, I'm looking at you. But okay, yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you. CJ, how are you?
Doing well.
Oh, good. Ninja. Okay. All of you, okay. Well, not much time.
And Geshe-la, will we be doing meditation practice today?
It's up to the people. Up to the people.
I would like to, if anyone else would like to.
We're seeing lots of yeses.
Okay, good. So I don't mind. Yeah, short dedication. Okay, short dedications. So then after that, 5-minute break. So refresh.
So if you turn to page 246 in the Gold Prayer Book, we'll read the dedication verses from Master Shanti Deva.
Oh, you don't have to stay for the meditations. You are welcome to also leave. It's okay.
May all beings everywhere, plagued by sufferings of body and mind, obtain ocean of happiness and joy by virtue of our merits. May no living creature suffer, commit evil, or ever fall ill. May no one be afraid or belittled with a mind weighed down by depression. May the blind see forms and the deaf hear sounds. May those whose bodies are worn with toil be restored on finding repose. May the naked find clothing, the hungry find food. May the thirsty find water and delicious drinks. May the poor find wealth, those weak with sorrow find joy. May the forlorn find hope, constant happiness, and prosperity. May there be timely rains and bountiful harvests. May all medicines be effective and wholesome prayers bear fruit. May all who are sick and ill quickly be free from their ailments. Whatever diseases there are in the world, may these never occur again. May the frightened cease to be afraid and those bound be freed. May the powerless find power, and may people think of benefiting each other. For as long as space remains, for as long as sentient beings remain, until then may I too remain to dispel the miseries of the world. And now the long life prayer, that's on page 244 and 245 of the Gold Prayer Book. One for His Holiness is on page 244. In the land encircled by snow mountains, you are the source of all happiness and good. All-powerful Chenrezig Tenzin Gyatso, please remain until samsara ends. And then on page 245, the long life prayer for Sarah J. Khensen Rinpoche Jitsun Wasandalak. The one who mastered his speech at a very young age. The one with great patience who received the name Alatare. The one with great precision who spread the teachings of Lama Tsongkhapa on bliss and void. Lama ornament of the yellow hat tradition, please remain until samsara ends. And then the long life prayer for Lama Zopa Rinpoche on page 244. You uphold the subduer's moral way, who serve as a bountiful bearer of all, sustaining, preserving, and spreading Majjhima's victorious doctrine, who masterfully accomplished magnificent prayers honoring the three jewels, save myself and others, your disciples, please live long. And then 7 Green Tar mantras for Geshe Gelik and Geshe Samples. Long, happy, healthy lives. Om Tare Tu Re Soha. 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 Om Tare Tu Re Soha.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. Take break, 5-minute break, please.
Okay, everyone, I think we're about to start.
No. Is it possible you to be aware of your awareness? It's possible. Okay, to just be aware of your awareness. Mm. Introduce to yourself your own awareness, and please tell yourself to be aware of your awareness. Simjiranshi Vesawa, nature of mind. Nature of mind. Realism is light. Sol means clear. Clear light. Clear light. Nature of mind is clear light. Then tell yourself, beware. Beware of that. And see what happens. You're losing the focus, then just repeat the word. Be aware of your awareness. Repeat the word. If you're losing it. When thought rise, simply notice them, don't follow. If you are carried out by your thought, then repeat the word. Beware of your awareness. Or focus on clear light. Think there's your awareness. If that helps. Has to be within, cannot be outside, has to be within. Or something like mirror, no reflections, zero reflections. Mirror with zero reflections. Or you could focus on that if that helps. But it has to be within, should not be outside. Mhm. So, Simji Rangshi means nature of mind. Okay, Simji Rangshi is nature of mind. Same mind, Rangshi is nature. Simji Rangshi means nature of mind. Where Sawa means it's crystal clear, crystal clear, crystal clear. So now you tell yourself, be aware of that. Be aware of awareness. Get to one more level. So that is like true nature of mind, which is crystal clear. One more level down, it's like mirror with no reflections. It has to be within. While you're trying to focus or concentrating on that, thought may arise. Simply notice them, don't follow. If you are carried out by your thought, so then repeat the word again, be aware of your awareness, or you could say be aware of true nature of your awareness, which is crystal clear like mirror. So then concentrate, okay? We repeat this one more time. If thought rise, don't worry, simply notice them, don't follow. If you are, in case, if you carry out by your thought, so then repeat the word again, be aware of your awareness, one level down, nature of your mind, crystal clear, one level down, like mirror, concentrate. Mirror with no reflection, concentrate. You are losing your focus, please repeat the words. Beware of your awareness. Or beware of your true nature of your awareness, which is like crystal clear, like a mirror, no reflections. Concentrate. When thought rise, when the thought rise, simply notice them, don't follow. Concentrate till it becomes like clear, still water. Means your meditations till it becomes like clear, still water. Focus on that till it becomes like clear, still water. Being there with no concern, no expectations. No worries, no expectations. Worry they related to the past, worry they related to the present moment, the worry related to the future, none of that. Zero expectations. Be like clear, still water. All right, so I think that's enough now. Next, I'll find the term Senjirashi Vesawa. First, it's kind of like guiding yourself into the meditation. Now, first, you tell yourself, beware of the awareness. So then, second level, basically you're going one more level down, being aware the true nature of mind, which is like crystal clear. Going one more down, and it's like mirror with no reflections. So they concentrate on that without any worries related to the past, related to the present moment, related to the futures, no any expectations with that kind of, these are the conditions in order to your meditation become like still clear water. So these are the conditions. Otherwise, these worry expectations makes your meditation like murky water. Doesn't makes your meditations like clear still water. So that's what I mean. Be like clear still water. So then focus there. When the thought rise, simply notice them. Don't follow them. In case if you're like carried out by your thought, then repeat the word again. Be aware of your awareness. One more level down, so then like that. Okay? Yeah, so yeah, now let's stop here. Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. See you next Sunday.
Thank you, Geshe-la.
Okay.
Thank you, Geshe-la.
Thank you,
Oh, yeah.
Geshe-la.
Thank you, Geshe-la.
Thank you, Kadampa Center.
Thank
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hey, bud, what's up?
Gracias, Geshe-la.
Thank you, Geshe-la. Gracias, Ale.
Thank you, everyone.
Buster says thank